So I bought the car, I think it was about 2017, and then from there it was standard. It took about 2 or 3 years to do the engine swap overall to get the money together to buy all the parts for it. But then that did come together when it was all ready to go. It came together quite quick, so it was done in a few months. Originally, I bought the car because my old Lexus got written off, so I got this as a replacement, and it was just meant to be a daily drive. So that's how it started, and then it started getting looked into supercharging it. Went down the road with supercharging the standard 1GFE lump. It was supposed to make 240, but on the dyno it made 200. And then I managed to get hold of the 1UZ from the IS200 for what came, it wasn't running, so I bought the full length car for the engine. Then it went down that road of swapping it all over. So it did originally take about 3 or 4 years to get swapped into the car.
Why 1UZ?
It's what everyone was going into. You could buy the parts available-ish to buy from Ireland and stuff. Plus I got the car cheap, so it was easy enough to do.
What would you want of the money? This is my answer.
Probably the hardships of like the conversion hurdles that you come across.
The main problems were like the wiring side, and like the prop shaft was an issue because you'd have to get a lengthened one, or if you could find an Altezza one, which would have to be written off because it's further forward the engine than the standard 6-cylinder. So it was that, and then the wiring, it's got a full brand new wiring loom on it, which I had to get custom built. I had to get demobilised the ECU for it to run. So it just turned out more expensive than what I anticipated to start going into it.
What's your favourite mod?
Probably just the engine swap in general. It does make a complete difference from it being a standard 2 litre to a V8 swap.
What was your first mod?
On this car, or
This guy, yeah.
it was probably the TT body kits, the lower part, all the balances. That was the first one that I got. And then it went to a supercharger.
Why the body kit?
Just to stand out, I saw a few of them with it, and then I thought it looked quite smart. You didn't really see a lot of people in the town with the wide body kits.
How many persons is it being like? Been on quite a few tracks.
Yeah.
Originally from the standard car, I put the TTE body kit on, so which is the lower valance part, and then the wider body kit got added on, and then the big spoiler on the back, just for the look. I just thought it'd stand out compared to the other ones that you see. And then the SA3 Advan alloys.
Which are beautiful.
Yeah, they need a bit of clean like, but
Did you build the body kit around the alloys, or did you buy the alloys?
bought the alloys first, and then the problem was they were catching on the back arches. So I thought the only way around was to add a wide body kit and then cut all the back arches out and weld it all back together.
2 days in, yeah.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I had a black one. Originally I bought the car because I needed a different driver, a Subaru, and the engine was fucked to me. So it had a big TD05 20 gram turbo on it, boosted about 1.7 bar. So it just blew past the rings and everything, so it was pissing out. So I got rid of that and bought an black IS200. So I thought that's great, daily drive that. So I did that and had it 2 weeks. And then where I was working, a few doors down, they had a replica AC Cobra in. The boss was out, so the guy thought he'd take it for a spin. Took it for a spin and piled into the back of it. So he hit it that hard, he just bent all the back of the car in.
Yeah.
You could see, I'll have to find the pictures of it, where the fog light just hit the back bumper right in the middle.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely crumpled the car. He went up the curb, innit? Crumpled 2 wheels, bent all the frame in the front of it. All just got smashed to bits. He absolutely. He got out of the car and walked away, but the thing was fucked. So I wrote my car off and about 70 grand to get it all repaired.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So then I got that. But I didn't want to modify.
Yeah.
I did have a Rover SD1 that I was going to make into a replica race car. So then that went sour, and then I ended up with that, and then I started swapping all over.
What's your next plans?
I've bought another engine to servo it. So it'll be, I'd hope to about 500-600 horsepower. once it's rebuilt, I've got another gearbox in it. It's already got an upgraded IS200 rear diff in what I've added in. So that's the next part, is to build that engine and put it in. We're just waiting for the conversion stuff to get made.
What's that percent of?
Whole set, either a HX40 or a 50, depending on what comes available.
What was the inspiration behind that whole thing?
I don't really know. Just started getting a bit out of hand, and then that was that. It just started off being a daily drive, and then after it got supercharged, it got all of the cars a daily drive, and this got really prioritised for as and when to drive.
Why an IS200 then in the first place?
I used to look after a few at work, and I thought they drove quite nice. Apart from the heavy fuel side on it, they were a nice car to drive, so it was just more reliability over anything.
What have you done inside?
Apart from not really much, a bucket seat, and then Alcantara steering wheel, and that's probably as far as it's gone. Near enough standard inside.
Do you want to do any more inside if you do more track or?
Not massively. I ain't really too fussed with the. As long as it looks period, that's all I'm really bothered about.
Tell us about when you went to Never.
Yeah, so it was the longest trip that I did with the car, so I was a bit nervous about that. So we went from the Europort to the Nürburgring ring. We stopped off Cologne, it wasn't too bad. So we did, I think, about 2 laps of the Nürburgring ring, which the only problem was the spring rate was too soft, so it was catching the back arches and the tyres. But apart from that, performed well. And then from there we went to Wolfsburg, to the Viaduct factory. Then on the way back, it was from Wolfsburg to the Europort, which the car performed fine. It was on the autobahn and all stuff like that, which was a problem.
What was fueling like?
The best it got was about 21 to the gallon, so it was probably about a full tank to about 300 miles. The only benefit was I had about 75 litre tank in it. When it was supercharged, it did the Cadwell Park, and then last year it did Japfest. So it's done Cadwell Park about 2 or 3 times, then Japfest, so around Silverstone once, and then it's done the Nürburgring. I've been twice when it was supercharged, and then it was a V8.
Do you prefer it on the track when it was supercharged or V8?
Probably with a supercharger, because there's no traction control or all like that with a V8, so it's a bit nerve-wracking when going round. Especially on part with the V8, when we come around one of the corners, the spring rate wasn't right and it lifted off and then it oversteered. So it started going sideways on the track, and then luckily it straightened up.
So money no object, what would you do?
Yeah, just like a bigger turbo, properly forged the internals of it. Stronger box and all down that route. And probably like 1,000 horsepower would be ideal for it.
What would your next car be?
Probably a Lexus. Another, like a newer one, like a hybrid or whatever, just a daily drive until I keep this. That's what I'd like to do.
Dream car?
Probably the P25 Subaru, what they remade from the P1. That'd probably be the best one going, I would have thought.